Welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. That's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week and a great day. I'm gonna get right to it because today was my second annual Deb's, let's see, what am I calling it? My second annual holiday, I don't know. But it's the second time, it's the second year in a row that I went to see a movie during my Christmas vacation. Last year, it was Wonka with Timothée Chalamet. This year, I could not wait to see this. It was Wicked. So I'm gonna get right to it because I want to talk about this movie. There are spoilers. There are going to be spoilers. So if you're going to see the movie, you don't want spoilers, I will not be upset if you don't watch this because I'm going to get into it. Okay. That being said, and I'm going to put out there on the title, spoilers. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers, I will see you tomorrow, or I will see you in my next video, which might be today, might be tomorrow, but goodbye and have a good night. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. Did I like this movie? No. I loved it. I absolutely 10 out of 10. I loved this movie. I did not see the musical. I didn't see it on Broadway, and I didn't see an off-Broadway run of it in Pittsburgh. I did read the book. It was like so long ago that I don't even remember a lot of the book. The book was darker than the musical, from what I understand. I went in a little worried about the runtime because it was a 2-hour, 40-minute runtime. Historically, I'm not that great with movies that are over 2 hours, close to 3 hours. I did the real 3D, which I'm glad I did because in such a visually stunning movie, everything popping out at you was like awesome, especially because everything was just in Technicolor beautifulness, like everything popped. So for me, it didn't even feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes. It flew by for me. So if you're going in and you're thinking, I don't know if I can make it through 2 hours and 40 minutes, you can make it. Okay, let's start off with the casting. Casting in this was absolutely chef's kiss perfection. Everybody was perfect in this. Once again, I did not see the musical. So for me, in this movie, I can't see anybody in this movie playing Glinda and Elphaba except for Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. I'm gonna say, heading into the movie, I was never a super big fan of Ariana Grande. Does she have an amazing voice? She really does have an amazing voice. But personally, her personality-wise, there were some things that she had done that I was like, I don't know if I really like her that much. She absolutely won me over with this role. Her singing, once again, off the charts. Like, No One Mourns the Wicked right at the very start was like, wow, like the highest note you can hit, and she just gets up there. And come to find out, everybody was doing live singing. This was all live singing. And Cynthia Erivo was actually even doing her own stunts. So she was singing Defying Gravity, and then she was doing these stunts. So, but Ariana Grande was just like, I knew that her singing was going to be perfect for this. However, I didn't know that she was going to be so funny, like legitimately funny. Her timing, like her comedic timing was on point. And she has been nominated for supporting actress. I can see her being nominated for supporting actress for an Oscar. I thought she was that good. And listen, and I'm gonna go through points later on in the video of like ones that made me cry, but honestly, in the beginning, when she was singing No One Mourns the Wicked, and then they bring out that Kill the Witch and this big giant like stick statue of Elphaba, and then she's made to like light this this big giant statue of her friend, and you're like, and just the facial expressions that she made, and you realized that she's crying for herself. She's not crying. She's crying because she's the wicked one. Like, she ends up alone. She is really the wicked one. And that just had me in tears. Cynthia Erivo, I did not know much about Cynthia Erivo heading in. She deserves all the flowers, everything she gets. What a voice, what a presence, and what a performance. She was also nominated for Best Actress at the Golden Globes. I don't know if it was in a musical, but I can see her getting in at the Oscars because she was just, she was so perfect. She was just so perfect in this. Jonathan Bailey from Bridgerton, charming as hell. He could charm this like glass of water, and he probably has. Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live, perfectly catty, like the perfect like Gretchen Wieners. Like the perfect Gretchen Wieners, perfectly catty. Some of the standout like songs. Dancing Through Life was just a visual smorgasbord of yes please, because the whole spinning wheel, and then you had dancers, you had parkour artists falling from it and tumbling around with all of the natural light coming in, was just like you didn't know where to look, because it was so amazing. And from what I understand, the wheel, when it was moving, like if they weren't exactly timed, like in time with what they had, where they should be, their head could have been chopped off. So it was a very difficult thing, from what I understand, to film in and to shoot. But you could see throughout the whole film that director John Chu really loved Wicked, and really cared about what was put out there, because everything, it seems like it was just shot with such intention. I loved the appearance. I loved the little appearance by the OG Wickeds, the OG Glinda and Elphaba, which was Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, aka Adele Dazeem. I love that. When they came on, I was like, ooh. Everything, the cinematography, the set design, the costumes, the makeup, the music, everything perfect. I loved, I liked Michelle Yeoh as Miss Marble. And come on, listen, I can't say a bad thing about Jeff Goldblum. Number one, he's from Pittsburgh. He's from Western Pennsylvania, so I can't. But he was just he was so charismatic in that. I mean, whenever he saw that it was Elphaba, and once again, here's a spoiler in case you didn't know. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Here's a spoiler. But the wizard is Elphaba's dad. So whatever he was doing, he presented the little figurine of Elphaba, and he was talking about parenthood and this and that. And he was so very like charming towards them when Glinda was like, my name's Glinda, but without the G-A. And he's like, oh, Belinda. I thought he was so charming. But then when he like switched it up and he was found out that he was the one who was behind like the animals, not being able to talk anymore, then he kind of switched over. I can't ever say anything bad about Jeff Goldblum. For me, and listen, I'm going to say this. This is not me being political. This is just me saying this. For me, the story of the wizard taking away the animals' voices and keeping them down and kind of removing them from society, that mirrored to me what the talk is for the future. I'm just going to say it. When he said to bring the people together, you have to create an enemy. And that hit me hard. I don't know. I was probably the only person in the movie theater that was crying at that. There were a few different times that made me cry. From the beginning, at the beginning, during No One Mourns the Wicked, she was crying for her. She was singing that because she was singing that about herself. She's the Wicked. When they went to the dance at Ozdust, and beforehand, Glinda had given Elphaba the hat because she was like, I don't know anybody who I hate enough to give this to. And then she gave it to her. And then Elphaba walks in and she's like, and she thinks, oh, well, they like me, so I'm gonna wear this. They like me and I'm one of them. And then she walks in and everybody's laughing at her. And I know that. I know the feeling as somebody who had been teased when she was younger because of my weight. Yeah, I know all about being teased. So that hit hard. But she put the hat back on and she just presented herself, and that made me cry. That part hit me. And then also when Professor Dillamond was taken away, that hit me too. And when they brought that little cub out and he was in the cage, that hit me too. That really hit me. And then of course defying gravity, that got me in the fields. Now listen, I know that Elphaba, everybody, she's the wicked one. She looks different. She's green. And then at the end, she's the one that turned the monkeys, that gave the monkeys wings, and she's the evil one. Be on the lookout for her. When the evil one, in fact, was all along was the wizard. Yeah, for me throughout the movie, Elphaba was never evil for me. For me, the wicked one for me was always Glinda. That's just because she was self-absorbed. Like, she was self-absorbed and she was everything for me. And to me, it even seemed like once Elphaba got the invite to go to the Emerald City, it was almost like she was like, oh, well, look, she's, everybody's looking at her, but nobody's looking at me. Like, when she finally decided to change her name, it was very performative activism. Seriously, she was like, hey, everybody, look at me. We have to bring attention to this. So in order to do that, I'm going to change my name to Glinda, because this is what Professor Dillamond would always say. And Lord knows I loved him. And meanwhile, she was the one who was like, can't you pronounce my name right? It's Galinda. So listen, to me, I didn't even feel like she, for me, I partly at times somewhat believed their friendship was real. But then at other times I was like, I don't know though, is it? Because at the dance, You know, she could have been like, hey, just to let everybody know, I gave her that hat, that ugly hat, that was mine. But she didn't do that. I don't know. And then at the end, when she could have very well have gone with Elphaba, instead she gives in, and there's that scene where Maribel, however you say her name, looks at Glinda, and she didn't like Glinda the whole entire film. And then she looks at her and she hugs her, and Glinda hugs her back, and she just gives in because this is what she wanted. So to me, she was the wicked one the whole time. I never believed for a second that Elphaba was wicked. Listen, when somebody is different, they're always going to be the one that stands out. They're always going to be the one that's targeted as being wrong or being wicked, you know, or being the one that's gonna do something that's not for the good of people. Alpha's my girl the whole time. I'm saying that right now. So listen, would I suggest going to see this? Yes, I absolutely would. If you can, please go see this in movie theaters, because I'm going to see it in my own house when it comes on streaming. But this is a movie that is made to be seen on the big screen, because because there's so much to the colors, the colors that burst through on the screen, the sound, and just the scope of it, the grandeur of it. This is a movie that needs to be seen on big screen. I would love to go see this movie again. Honestly, I'm gonna be listening to the soundtrack. I loved everything. Popular, Ariana Grande in that was like sheer perfection, like 1,000 out of 10 with the singing, but with like all of just the laughs in it was just, the whole movie was perfect. I'm gonna give it a 25 out of 10. And yes, here we go. Is it gonna win? Is it gonna win for Best Picture? Probably not. Is it going to, hopefully one of these female leads is going to get something, because they are going to be splitting them up. From what I understand, they're pushing Ariana Grande as supporting, Cynthia Erivo as best lead actress, best actress. And that's just because, and I understand that, because this way there's a better chance of each one getting an Oscar, getting an award. I think the last time that females who were in a movie were nominated together were Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon for Thelma and Louise. So people really don't do it anymore, and I understand why, because I would really love for eventually each one of them to get an Oscar, maybe one for the first, maybe one for part one, and maybe another one for part two that comes out next November. Will I be there for the second video or the second movie? Yeah, I absolutely check. Next year, when I make my video on my annual Christmas movie outing, it will be Wicked Part 3, because I'm definitely going to go see that. So yes, please go see this. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments what you thought. And with that being said, listen, if nobody told you yet today, you were loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, so it comes right back at you. Also, please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be smart. Hydrate often with water, which is what I did not do today because of a 2-hour and 40-minute run time, and I didn't want to have to pee constantly. And also, if you're in a situation that is dangerous, please, be weather related or not, please be mindful, be aware, be smart and safe. know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and all kind of positive energy your way so you make it through. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.